Hey, you. You listen to Crips and Corks every week. Well, what if I told you that you have the chance to see us live and unedited?
That's right. We're going to be live on the main stage at the Poetity Theater right here in Pittsburgh, PA.
We're going back to the beginning by covering the topic of our second episode, the Amityville Whorehouse, and all new facts and features.
But DJ, what if I can't make it there in person?
Well, lucky for you, we are offering special streaming tickets so that you can watch from the comfort of your own home if you can't make it on the day or if you don't live in the Pittsburgh tri-state area.
Wait, you mean I can watch from my bathtub?
Yeah,
Or from behind the Wendy's?
I guess so.
Wait, so I can watch...
Paul, leave it to their imagination. So go to the link in our description below to get your tickets today, and we'll see you there.
Also, BYOB tickets are available for those in person.
And now for this week's regularly scheduled episode.
And tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind.
My favorite part of that is how you always take on this really bad British accent.
I do, yeah.
And welcome to another episode of Crips and Corks. I'm your host, Ebony Blackness Dementia, here with my co-host.
Paul, as usual, and we're here for a very happy episode.
You didn't even do a goth name.
I couldn't think of one fast enough, so that's on me. Your improv was better there.
Take two. I'm your host, DJ, here with my co-host.
Prince of the Darkness and the Cauldron, Paul. Or was I supposed to just do Paul?
Can I see you over here? Just do your regular name.
Okay.
Take three. I'm your host, DJ, here with my co-host.
Paul, as usual.
I hope you leave all three of those in, because I took that as a joke and not really.
Right.
Okay.
No, I took
Awesome.
it as a joke. Did we turn off the heat? Let's turn off the heat real quick. And if you're a longtime viewer, you know our microphones are so powerful we pick up the heat. And if you're watching our video episode right now, if you're watching us on the good old video, you can see that we are dressed pretty emo, pretty punk, kind of like a Hot Topic employee threw up on us.
Everything except for my tank top I did get from Hot Topic, so yes.
And honestly, Hot Topic is a come up. Y'all need to get into some of Hot Topic's clothes because some of it is actually really cool. I know people like to shit on it or whatever, but honestly, y'all
you
need
can
to...
get some good finds. My one problem, though, is that, like, I always like the fandom stuff. And now that we have boxed lunches around here...
Don't do the boxed lunch apparel. That's like the Disney of, like, emo kids. I always forget you're a Disney adult.
I am a Disney adult.
But that's okay. But for real, Hot Topic is, like...
You wanted to do a rocker emo look for this episode, and I consented.
Yes, we are doing rocker looks, and you'll see why later when we get into today's topic. But DJ, how was your week?
It was a rough one, to be perfectly honest. Just, things did not seem to be going my way. Definitely got a little Turtina on Thursday night.
And that's okay.
For no reason. No good reason at all.
Sometimes you do need to just get turned on, like, a random weekday, just to, like, get yourself back in a good mindset, you know? My day is a Tuesday.
Oh, interesting. So that's why you didn't take my phone calls on Tuesday nights.
Exactly, because I'm too drunk to get off the floor.
I don't call Paul on Tuesday nights. I don't call him on any weekday nights unless it's an emergency.
Yeah, we only text. We are true millennials in that way, where we do not like phone calls. We like to text.
Although most of our texting probably is just sending TikToks back and forth to one another.
That's very true. That's very true.
Paul, how was your week?
My week was good. So last weekend, we had the honor and privilege, as you guys know, to go to the Oddities Expo here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Met some really cool artists. And we do have to shout out the artist who got us those butterflies.
Who made the butterflies we got?
Yeah, he made the butterflies. So it's Chasing Butterflies. And the butterflies, honestly, I'll put a picture on the screen. They're basically taxidermied butterflies, and they're so freaking cool. Go check them out. Again, the company's called Chasing Butterflies, and the person who does it name is Chase Cortez, and he's very talented. The butterflies are super cool.
I didn't know his name was Chase.
Yeah.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, no. They're so beautiful. Again, I'll put pictures on screen. And the World Oddities Expo was really cool. We got to see a lot of taxidermy stuff that I wasn't fully expecting it to be that much taxidermy.
Yeah, it was a lot of taxidermy stuff.
And dead things in jars. That was interesting.
Yeah, lots of preserved dead things.
But we did...
Lots of bugs.
Yeah, lots of bugs.
Lots of bugs.
We met some interesting people, too. Some of the vendors were really cool, really interesting to talk to. And I know it's a traveling expo, so if the World Oddities Expo does come to your town, I would definitely recommend giving it a go-round, seeing what's going on.
The one thing that I wish we had done that we didn't do is, there was a couple people doing tarot readings there.
Right.
But they were, $30 a pop, and I was like... Am I really going to pay $30 for a 5-card spread?
Right, when you could do it yourself, No, there's no need to be doing all that because you can do it all yourself.
Yeah.
We do tarot ourselves. As you can tell in the background now, we have a couple tarot decks in the background here. So we do tarot readings ourselves. DJ is good at it. I'm certified in it. I'm not sure if are you certified?
No, self-taught.
Self-taught, period. Get into self-taught. We stand
And for
self-taught.
some reason, the certified one always defers to the self-taught. Well, I guess it's because I did it professionally for a short time.
Yeah, and mine, it was an online class. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So I'm doing an online class for tarot. I don't know if that's really the tea, but it's did it, and I could say I'm a certified tarot master. So get into that, that's freaking cool. I'm a certified tarot master. And so, let me get into pop culture corner, because there is a lot going on right now. And the first thing, there's something very shocking happening in the TikTok community right now that I need to address with you all right here and now, okay? So... do you know who Jody Hopps Lover 69 is?
Wait, isn't Jody Hopps
the Zootopia character?
Buddy, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Judy Hopps Lover 69 is basically what it sounds like. It's this guy on TikTok who's obsessed. He plays this character who's obsessed with Judy Hopps in a sexual way from Zootopia. And Disney actually told him he had to stop talking about Judy Hopps. Allegedly, he's not allowed at the Disney parks anymore, and all sorts of crazy things.
Yo!
And what's even crazier is that he and Chris Olsen are now allegedly dating. He posted... So Chris Olsen is on tour right now.
Wait, I need to look this guy up. Keep talking.
So Chris Olsen is on tour right now, and Judy Hopps Lover 69 posted on his TikTok, the guy I'm seeing right now is on tour. Should I go see him? And then Chris Olsen responded and made a TikTok himself and was like, so what if the guy I'm seeing right now...
hello.
Oh, you think he's cute?
I think he's pretty cute.
Yeah, he is pretty cute. Well, he's cute enough to get Chris Olsen, and Chris Olsen is pretty attractive.
But he's 23.
Yeah. He looks like the guy from the Goofy movie. I forget his name, but he looks like...
Oh, Chad something.
Yeah, he looks like Chad from the Goofy movie. But he pulled Chris Olsen, and the internet is in shock, terror, and I'm honestly in shock, and I don't know how to take this news, because... Judy Hopps Lover 69 pulled Chris Olsen.
Say what you want about Chris Olsen, but he's a catch.
He is. He's super fine. He's super attractive. He's funny. He has, talent, connections. Chris Olsen is a catch. So
Meghan Trainor pays him to be her best friend.
when I saw that, I wasn't sure if it was
Allegedly.
real. Yeah.
Please don't sue me, Chris Olsen. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, when I saw that, I was in complete shock. But moving right along here, Trisha Paytas is pregnant again.
Again?
Yep, with her third baby.
Jesus.
Trisha is having her third child. And moving right along on from that.
What world leader, respectable leader, is going to have to die for this child?
Wait, there is one that's... Who is,
the Pope.
The Pope, yes!
But the Pope is, really sick, so it's either, he's either going to make it through this or he's not.
Yeah, so if the Pope dies, he's going to reincarnate as Trisha Paytas' third child.
You know what? I will give it to her. The fact that she finds these things and she manages to time them. She didn't, the Queen was dead for hours. And she went, oh, I'm in labor. Did not have that baby for 2 days. I swear. She did not have that baby for 2 days.
Well, she didn't start that rumor. Someone else started that, and the internet ran with it.
Oh, yeah. But she kind of embraced it.
Oh, I mean, it's good publicity, you know?
It is. And, then she did with Jimmy Carter, where, Jimmy Carter died. Or, no, I think she had her last one right before Jimmy Carter died.
Yeah.
And it's is she timing this shit?
God only knows. Probably.
Is she get out! Jimmy Carter's dying, you gotta get out before he's dead.
She cuts the umbilical cord herself, from the inside.
Starts eating that hot chili pepper, come on, come out!
Oh my gosh. Moving right along here, Lady Gaga just released her new album, Mayhem. Mm-hmm. I gave it a listen, and it really was not what I expected. It's very much giving, 80s, 90s. It's not as spooky as you would think.
Okay.
Because, Mayhem, you're thinking spook, and the first two singles, Disease and Abracadabra, it's giving spook. But the rest of the album...
I haven't listened to it yet because I went to a bar last night where they were supposed to do a listen party and they just didn't play. They played Disease and they played Abracadabra on repeat. They didn't play anything else from the album.
Damn, I wish I would have known that. Did they play other music?
Yeah, they played Kelly Clarkson, Meghan Trainor, Katy Perry.
If I known that, I would have went.
But it was supposed to be a Lady Gaga listen party. That's why my friends were going, and I just joined because I wanted to get out of the house.
Right.
Because I was starting to go stir crazy.
Right, no.
But listening to Abracadabra and Disease, it was kind of my opinion, and you can disagree with this is just my opinion, was that it was Gaga trying to get that old, original, early 2010s Gaga.
Yeah.
But she wasn't quite getting it.
Right.
It kind of sounded like somebody trying to imitate Gaga. That's what I want to say. It sounded like Gaga was trying to imitate herself.
She was trying to go back to her roots.
But she wasn't doing it successfully. It sounded like I said, it sounded like an imitation. Sorry, these chains are just...
It's fine. I'm going to fix the camera a little bit. It has to come this way a little bit so people can see a little bit more of me. But now we're good. Okay.
Chains and whips do not excite me.
Me either, girl. They're kind of spooky. A little spooky. But Mayhem overall, I would give it probably a 6 out of 10. Oh. There's 2 or 3 good songs, but 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. Don't come for me, Gaga stans. I promise. I'll probably like the next album more. Or maybe I'll just get used to this album like I did with Chromatica and then listen to it more just so I get used to it and then I'll be vibing with it.
Sometimes that does happen.
It does. Speaking of vibing, do you have anything to add for pop culture before we move on to drinks?
No. I do like, though, how we've kind of evolved Pop Culture Corner into a discussion and not just you reporting on it. It just kind of makes me happy.
It's nice.
I didn't think it was going to do that, but now it just kind of happened organically and I like it.
Period. Well, today, for drinking, we are drinking the 19 Crimes, the Punishment Wine, which was also it's a Pinot Noir. Mm-hmm. This is another Christmas gift, so whoever got this for me, either my stepmom, and then also Natasha maybe, Jason maybe, thank you. Whoever got this for me, thank you.
You have such a large family, and I forget that all the time because mine is so small.
I do have a really large family. It's crazy. I'll try and read the back of this for you guys. So it's a Pinot Noir 2021. 19 crimes turned convicts into colonists upon conviction.
Do you want me to read it?
British. It's just a weird font. Really, it's just such a weird font. I don't even know if you'll be able to read it.
19 crimes turned convicts into colonists. Upon conviction, British rogues guilty of those crimes were sentenced to Australia rather than death. This punishment was by transportation, began in 1788, and many of the lawless died at sea. The rough-hewn pioneers who reached Australia lived in servitude under the lash. Pioneers in a frontier penal colony, they forged a new country and new lives, brick by brick. This 2021 Pinot Noir celebrates the rules they broke and the culture they build. Download our Living Wine Labels AR app.
Period. Thank you for giving that a read for us,
You're
DJ.
welcome.
I appreciate that.
We've had a couple of those, and I think they're all my episodes, so I'm used to.
Reading for me. I appreciate
Do
it.
you want me to hold the tablet while you do that, or something?
Yeah, if you want to hold the tablet so
Yeah.
I can get this ASMR wine open. Let's get this open
Here,
for the folks.
I'll move my glasses if you want to set it on the...
I got it. Ooh, there we are. She's open. Time for a good old ASMR pour. Oh, it's black. Well, red. I don't know why I said black, it's red. Alright, ASMR pour number 2. Let's get into it. Ooh. Alright. Cheers!
Cheers! That's
You
pretty
know
nice.
what? That's good.
Yeah.
I like
nice.
that. They did a good job on that one.
Yeah.
Good for them. Now, like,
Sometimes a Pinot Noir is a little too dry for me, but that's pretty nice.
no, I would definitely drink more of this. This 19 Crimes The Punishment wine, they did a good job on this wine. No, I will say, drink it cold, okay? Because I don't think it would probably be that good warm. So drink this one cold. I'm going to give this one 4.5 grapes. Not quite a grand slam, but that's a very good wine. I could probably drink the whole bottle myself. Very good wine.
I will agree with 4.5 grapes.
Y'all need to get yourself some of this. Whoever got me this wine, you did a great job. It is very much appreciated. It's beautiful.
Shout yourself out in the comments below.
Right, comment down below. Text me. Dox me. Do whatever you need to do, okay? Do you have anything to add before I get into today's?
No, I'm ready.
All right, DJ, let me tell you a story.
Please do.
So, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. The 3 pillars of the people who live fast and die young. This lifestyle appeals to many, but not many know the struggles of it. From addiction to mental illness to the struggles of publicized life, people don't consider the dark side of fame. They take the die young as more of a tongue-in-cheek joke rather than a stark warning. However, one building stands as a representation of the live fast, die young rock and roll lifestyle. This building represents the light and darkness of fame. Today, we will be talking about none other than the infamous Viper Room in Los Angeles, California, a nightclub who takes live fast, die young a little too seriously.
Slay.
Right. I first found out about this one on Ghost Adventures. Have you ever heard of it?
I know I've heard of it. I don't think I'm familiar with the story, but correct me if I'm wrong. When you say nightclub in Los Angeles, you immediately think of like where the movie stars go, but it's not like that. It's a little more grungier. It's more like grunge rock, right?
It very much, it does have that grungy feel, but we...
Like the 90s, like the walls are painted black.
Yes.
There's posters all over them.
Exactly.
Okay, yes.
That's what this nightclub looks like. It's very punk rock, very rock and roll, very black. But we will get into later all the celebrities that did frequent this nightclub, and actually it is celebrity owned as well.
So it's not trendy. It's not all dark woods and post-millennial gray.
No, it's back when celebrities could still be grungy, and like mainstream celebrities
Like
too.
Avril Lavigne.
Bitch, I'm talking of, like, mainstream celebrities, like...
Are you saying Avril Lavigne's not mainstream? Well, not anymore, but
Well,
back in the day.
She is mainstream, but what I'm referring to is people like Pamela Anderson would go. Or, like, very,
really?
like...
Okay.
Famous people who you wouldn't think would be in a bar like that.
Wait, no, we're recording these out of order. I nearly said, wow, 2 Hollywood episodes back to back.
Right, we have one in between.
We have one in between.
Yes.
We're recording out of order.
Now, I do have a trigger warning. Well, multiple trigger warnings. So, trigger warnings: suicide, death, violence, drug use, and overdose. Oof. Also, this is going to be an episode full of allegedly because I am going to be talking about a lot of high-powered people, a lot of celebrities, and I do not want to be sued. So, there's going to be a lot of allegedly said in this episode, and it's going to be a fun drinking game for you guys. Every time I say allegedly, take a drink.
Oh, I'm down.
Right.
I'm going to give myself a little top off because I feel like you're going to say it a lot.
Oh, yes. We're going to get into it. Well, actually, let me just get into it.
Wait, before you do that, I would like to look in the camera and say, any high-powered figure that Paul covers that you disagree with him, his thoughts and opinions are his own and not representative of Crips and Course LLC at large or myself. Sue him.
Wow, you just threw me under the bus so quick.
I'm doing this for us.
Throwing me under the bus is for us. I got you.
Yes, you can. We will patch you in via Skype from prison.
Oh my
God. It's fine.
I don't think they let you record podcasts from prison.
One of us has to be out here to edit and run the social media.
That's true. That's true. Oh my gosh. So, the Viper Room is a famous nightclub on the Sunset Strip in West Hollywood, California. That's right, that's where the gays are.
And WeHo?
WeHo. Yeah, West Hollywood, yeah. Now, the location was originally a grocery store from 1921 into the 1940s.
I love that.
Right. In the 1940s, it was converted into a nightclub called the Cotton Club.
Okay. I've heard of the Cotton Club.
Yes.
That was very famous back in the day.
Yeah. And then that was replaced by the Greenwich Village Inn. And then that was replaced by the Rue Angel, which was replaced by the Last Call, which was then replaced by the Melody Lounge, which was then replaced by Filthy McNasty's.
What year are we up to at this point?
Well,
how quick is this turnover?
It's pretty quick because now we're back into 1980. So between 1940 and 1980.
Okay, so in 40 years it changed about once a year.
Yeah.
Maybe once every 2 years.
And then finally in 1980 it became a jazz club called the Central.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, Anthony Fox owned the Central, and Johnny Depp and his co-star in 21 Jump Street, Sal Janko, would go into business with Fox.
Wait,
right?
Johnny Depp was in 21 Jump Street?
The original. There was
original?
Yes, there is an original 21 Jump Street.
And Johnny Depp was in it?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, I thought he got grungy like post Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, he was always grungy because...
Yeah, because he did all those Tim Burton movies in the 90s too.
Yeah. So, basically, Anthony owned the club in the 1980s called the Central, right? Mm-hmm. And then Depp and Janko approached him and were like, let's go into business together, but we're going to rename it, revamp it, things like that. So they would become business partners, and they would ultimately end up opening the Viper Room together as business partners. Now, one interesting thing to note before we move on from the history is that when it was the Melody Lodge, it was an illicit gambling den for mobsters like Mickey Cohen and Bugsy Siegel, who, if you don't know, they're really famous mobsters.
Yes.
So this place has a very interesting history, and if you think of all these nightclubs and all the turnover it had, there was probably a lot of, like, crime activity, a lot of, like, even before it was that illicit gambling den, which I don't know how long it was, that illicit gambling den, but there was a lot of shady shit going on.
If you're a mobster, what would your mobster name be?
If I was a mobster, Shady McNasty. I'll take the name from that club, and I'll be Shady McNasty.
I wasn't expecting that.
And then one interesting thing, too, about the name Shady McNasty, there's actually, when I was in Ireland, I saw a club named Shady McNasty's, too. So it must be like a common name. What would your mobster name be?
I'm gonna go with, the Glacier because when I was in middle school, we had to read a book for English class, and this killer was described as having these ice blue cold eyes like a glacier. Ooh. And all my friends said, "That's what your eyes look like. You have killer eyes."
You have killer eyes?
But killer eyes powers doesn't sound as cool as the Glacier powers.
The Glacier powers. I feel it. The Glacier powers.
Donovan, the Glacier powers.
And I agree with the killer eyes. Sometimes I see that glacier eyes and I get a little nervous. I'm like, oh, it's today the day? Am I going to end up on someone else's podcast? Someone else's true crime podcast? Honestly, we'd make a good story, though. Sorry, I have to get back into
my
the
favorite murder, Georgia Karen. We got a story for you.
Ooh. Okay, I have to get back into the Viper Room. So, the Viper Room officially opened in 1993, and that same year it opened, on Halloween night, actor River Phoenix died at the nightclub.
That's where I heard about it from. Yep. Oh my god, okay.
Yes, exactly.
Wasn't it a drug overdose?
Yeah, he died of a drug overdose. He took what's called a speedball, which is a mixture of heroin and cocaine.
Ooh,
and he overdosed outside of the club. Yeah, I didn't. So basically, I did listen to this 911 call, and it didn't make me happy because it was his brother calling, like, the police. And obviously, they didn't get there in time to save River because River did pass away.
Yeah.
And it was just... If you want to listen to that 911 call, go ahead. But it's kind of disturbing, and it makes me really sad because that was his brother.
I hate listening to 911 calls.
Yeah, some of them just get me. I don't know why, but some 911 calls just make me emotional. Also, if you don't know, River Phoenix was best known for his movies My Own Private Idaho and Stand By Me.
My Own Private Idaho, was that a gay movie?
It was a gay movie.
That's where I know him from. But he was not gay because I tried to look that up.
Oh, you tried to look up River Phoenix gay?
Yeah. And he was not.
Yeah. What can you do?
But you know what I mean, like sometimes a straight actor will be in a gay movie and you have a little bit of hope.
I mean, Brokeback Mountain. They were straight, so.
You were shook when I told you who Jake Gyllenhaal was.
I was shook. That was interesting. Now, another fun fact is River was actually brought up in the infamous cult, the Children of God.
Was he?
Yeah, so his parents were like hippies and they got caught up in the cult Children of God for a while.
Well, the name River Phoenix.
Yeah, that's true. And they moved to like Venezuela with the cult for a while. And if you know anything about the Children of God cult, it's kind of like a sex cult. It encourages sex amongst family members and minors. And so after River experienced that, it really scarred him. And if you want to know more about the cult, the Children of God, last podcast on the left does a really great deep dive on that cult. It's really great. I definitely recommend checking out that deep dive on the Children of God that the last podcast on the left did. But moving on from River Phoenix. So, we're not off to a good start in the first year with that drug overdose of a very famous person, right? But it gets kind of worse because in 1995, Australian actor and singer Jason Donovan would also suffer an overdose in the club. However, Jason did survive his overdose. Oh yeah, and when this happened, he was attending Kate Moss's birthday party when he overdosed.
Not Kate Moss's birthday party.
Right.
That's crazy.
So already, all these like super famous people. Then, later in November of 1997, Australian rock star Michael Hutchence would do his last performance at the Viper Room before he would commit suicide just a week later.
Oh.
Yeah. So, lots of spooky things. Yeah. And recently, Courtney Love would admit that Johnny Depp saved her life in 1995 when she also overdosed in the club. So, there's a lot of overdosing going in this club. Not a lot of good things happening so far.
But it's really sounding like a 90s punk rock club.
Right.
Like, what would happen there? Like, lots of drugs, lots of drinking.
Right. I mean, that's what celebrities do. I mean, when I said live fast, die young, sex, drugs, rock and roll,
literally.
This is what these people are doing. And just some other notable people who have gone to the club, and there's pictures of them if you want to go look. There's Johnny Cash, Pamela Anderson, Angelina Jolie, like anyone who was anyone at the time.
Who's going to this club.
Exactly. Now, these Hollywood elite didn't just enjoy drinking and drugs at the nightclub. In the early 2000s, the basement of the club held an illegal gambling ring that was...
Oh, I thought you were going to say sex dungeon.
Nope, it was an illegal gambling ring that was run by a famous competitive skier. Well, she's a former skier now, Molly Broom. Okay. And she ran this. And also, that's one of those allegedlys. There's also a movie based on this. So, allegedly... Also, this gambling ring idea, the person who came up with this idea was none other than Spider-Man. That's right, Spider-Man was endorsing illegal gambling. Allegedly. Tobey Maguire, who played Spider-Man, that is. Can you believe that? Apparently, Tobey Maguire came up...
Didn't some shit come out about Tobey Maguire?
I'm not too sure.
Because when he made that appearance in the last Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, like the multiverse one.
Really?
Because they had Tobey Maguire, who was like the original live-action Spider-Man, and they had Andrew Garfield, and then they had Tom Holland, and like they were all in a Spider-Man movie together.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And I remember somebody saying like, Tobey Maguire's return to Hollywood after such and such. And I can't remember what it was, but it was like, yeah, Tobey Maguire got canceled, and I was like... I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't know he was canceled either. Maybe it was for something to do with the illegal gambling. Alleged illegal gambling. Allegedly.
Stop. That's 3 right there.
Oh, sorry. Just take a really long drink.
I'm doing baby sips every time you say it, but still.
The ring would allegedly also host famous people such as Leonardo DiCaprio and Ben Affleck. Would allegedly frequent the gambling hall that was downstairs in the club. Alright, DJ. Can I speak to a manager? Let's get into some disputes between management of the club.
Okay.
So, in 2000, Anthony Fox filed a lawsuit against Depp, alleging that he was funneling millions from the club. So he was taking money from the club.
Oh.
But... on December 19th of 2001, the date that they were supposed to appear in court, Anthony Fox mysteriously disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah. 19 days later, they would find his truck in Santa Clara, California, about 300 miles away. But they never found Anthony's body. They still haven't found it to this day, and no one has been indicted for this disappearance.
So you're telling me, allegedly, that Johnny Depp can make people disappear?
I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no, but...
these allegedlys don't count.
Maybe the hand of the mob didn't leave the club. Maybe the mob was still in the club, and maybe Depp was doing that funneling for a reason, maybe.
Laundering that money.
Maybe. Who knows? Who am I to say?
Interesting.
Now, manager of the Viper Room, she's manager to this day. So, manager of the Viper Room, Macy Jane, says that people have told her where the body might be. And allegedly there is a lounge in the downstairs of the bar, and behind it is a little room with a dirt floor.
Ew.
And that is where Anthony's body might be buried.
I hate a little room in the basement with a dirt floor. That is giving demonic.
Yeah, and we know you go to a lot of those. That's where you like to take your dates.
Shady bitch.
Now, when Macy is asked where she got this information, she won't tell anyone. So maybe there's a high-powered person who knows exactly where that body is buried that told her where this body is buried, and she's not allowed to tell her sources. Macy also claims that she often gets a phone call, and it is always a man's voice saying, "Hi, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me."
Shut up!
I'm just kidding.
Christ.
It does say, "Hi, it's me." The phone call says, "Hi, it's me." Mm-hmm. I had to add that extra Taylor Swift lyric in there because of who I am as a person.
Hello, it's me.
Exactly. And it's theorized that the repeated phone call is actually Anthony Fox trying to tell them that he's still in the club.
Well, I know. When I die, my heart and soul will always be in the Arby's bathroom. Because I love the meat and cheese, but that's where I end up at the end of the night.
You're crazy for that one.
I know.
Yeah, but that is true about you. One thing about you, you're gonna end up in that bathroom stall 2 fists deep.
The difference between you and I is that, like, fast food messes me up just as much as it messes you up.
Yeah.
But I power through it. And I deal with the consequences.
I can't power through because, see, I have stomach issues if you don't know.
Yeah, that is true because mine will be just the next day. You will suffer for 3 days straight.
Not 3 days straight. It's the immediacy of it. It'll be like within a half hour. And like, see, that's the problem is like we eat food and then people want to go out and do things. And I can't be doing that. If I eat food, I have to be...
Does bread mess you up?
I don't know.
Because maybe I'm thinking, because there are times where you don't eat before we go out, and we can cut this conversation out. But maybe, like, if you just eat a couple slices of bread before we go out, it might help.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll give it a try sometime. But another worker at the club named Rita has similar experiences with mysterious phone activity. Rita says there is a ghost of a woman attached to her, and one evening the ghost got so frustrated with her, the ghost sent her a text message saying, "You're looking right at me. Why can't you see me?"
That's crazy.
Now, Rita did respond to this text message, and she said, "I'm sorry, I can feel you, but I really can't see you."
I want a ghost to text me.
I don't know about ghost text messages, unless they're, like, hot. Send those ghost nudes, you know?
Blackbeard.
No. Not Blackbeard.
Blackbeard, I just want to know. Send me a pic because I want to know. Does the rug match the curtains?
And is it as long as the curtains?
Oh, no.
Gross. Oh my gosh. So, Rita did try calling the phone number that texted her, and all she got when she tried to call was static.
Ew.
Spooky.
Don't like that.
Spooky. Now, let's talk about another bar manager named Tommy Black. Now, please note, Tommy actually used to be the bass guitarist for the Stone Temple Pilots, which, if you don't know, is a band.
Okay, I figured.
So, in an interview with none other than Zach Baggins, Tommy tells us he doesn't really believe in paranormal stuff, but there's stuff in the club that he just can't ignore. Tommy says the downstairs of the club has a completely different feeling than the upstairs, and it's not necessarily a great feeling, more of a negative feeling.
You know, I don't know whether the people who say, like, I don't believe in the paranormal, but...
Right, you must believe in something.
And they say, but, like, I watched a whiskey bottle float across the room for 50 feet when I was alone.
That's so funny you actually say that, because my next thing I was going to say is he actually watched, like, things move across the bar themselves, like glasses move across the bar by themselves. Also, there's a spot at the downstairs bar where people just collapse. They pass out for no reason.
I really hate, like, stories of people, like, just randomly ghost faints. No.
And, like, it's the same spot, too. So you can't really attribute it to, like, drugs or alcohol. Because I know we talked about overdosing and things. But, like, where, like, he said, like, 16 or 17 people have collapsed in the same spot at the bar. They have it on their surveillance camera and everything. If you watch that episode of Ghost Adventures, you can see them just pass out. It's crazy.
Wild.
Like, and also, like, at that same spot, they were editing, like, Zach Baggins and the Ghost Adventures team was editing, and they did feel like, they said it felt, like, cold there. And out of the corner of his eye, Zach said he saw something, like, sneak up on them while they were standing at that spot at the bar. So, like, there's something going on there, most likely, you know? So, Tommy also refuses to go in the room with the dirt floor where Anthony might be buried.
I would too, honestly.
Right. He said in 16 years, he has never been back to that room. Working there 16 years, and he never went back.
Well, that's just because he knows his daughter's in there and he doesn't want to pay child support. Allegedly. Maybe cut that joke out.
That was a good one.
Sorry.
You don't even know if he has a daughter, bitch.
I don't, but just hearing, like, hasn't been back for 16 years, all I could think of was, like, he doesn't want to pay child support.
You thought of your dad. Just kidding. You have a very good relationship with your father.
Yes, I do. But, like, leave that in. Let's see if my dad actually listens to this.
Right. No.
If he goes, I don't know how I feel about this Paul character, we know he listens.
Right. Now, as usual, as I like to do, let's talk a little bit about the Ghost Adventures investigation of the Viper Room.
Please.
So, they capture an EVP of an unintelligible man's voice that Rita swears is River Phoenix's voice. And this very much excites the boys and Rita. And if you remember, Rita's one of the workers at the bar that I mentioned earlier who was texting the ghost. The EVP supposedly said, I get confused. And they think this is because River might not actually know that he's dead.
Oh.
And this really
yucky,
made
yucky.
them... Yeah, this really made them really emotional in the episode. And Rita actually started crying. And that made me think a little bit about the ethics of ghost investigation. Like, kind of like how mediums, when they say they are contacting a loved one, like, the ethics of also paranormal investigating and saying, like, this is your loved one, and they're saying this, and making someone emotional when it might not be that. Because I did listen to that EVP, and it really didn't sound like that much like that to me.
Yeah, there is just something... I mean, there's a right way to handle it, where it's like, this is what I'm getting, this is what I think.
Right.
But to be like, this is your mom.
Right.
And she wants you to know she's proud of you.
And when you watch the episode, Zach very much did lead Rita into saying that was Phoenix's voice. He was like, who does that sound like to you? And she was like, it's coming to me. And he said, Phoenix? And she said, yes. River Phoenix.
I don't like that.
He very much led her into saying that.
I really don't like that.
And then she, like, was crying and stuff. And I'm not sure, like, what her relationship, if she had any relationship to River Phoenix, or if she was just sad and emotional because she thought he didn't know he was dead and he was trapped in the club, which really is a sad thought.
Yes, and there's something to be said about the ethics of, and I mean, this is a problem that I have with Zach Baggins in general. That, like, he does, like, provoke spirits. And, like, he does shit like this where it's like, oh, like, I want the biggest, scariest thing for my TV show, but, like, it's... And, I mean, we've talked about this, and it's like, you shouldn't ask a spirit, like, how did you die?
Right.
Like, because... And we always say on this podcast, just because a person's dead doesn't mean they're not a person.
Right. There's still, like, a spirit. I mean, what are we at the end of the day? We're our spirits, we're our souls, and that's what that person, what a ghost is. But also, back to the living ethics of it all, I think you have to be very careful when you're investigating, and you're investigating someone's loved one and not leading them into, like, false conclusions that could make them
you don't,
emotional.
Because I'm sure River Phoenix still has living family. You don't want to be like, his spirit is haunting here.
Right.
And have them start flocking there trying to get, like, to
More
make contact with him. And it's not him at all. It's somebody else.
Right. And that nightclub was open for a long time, so there could be a lot of people that died. I mean, even when it was a grocery store, maybe the person who owned the grocery store died, they lived above the grocery store and they died in the building.
It could be, I mean, going back to that, it could be, like, some person, like, just residual energy of, like, I'm so confused in this grocery store in this moment. Like, maybe she was having... I'm just assuming because 1940s, it was a woman. Or it could be a man. It could be a man who, like, his wife died and he's grocery shopping for the first time for his family. And just the stress and sadness of that moment just keeps replaying.
My hair's about to look so crazy. Sorry, but you're
it's
right.
kind of cool because it looks like it's, like, all swooped back.
Cool. Okay. So that's our soapbox for the episode. You're welcome for our take on ethics.
Ghost ethics.
Also, on an SLS camera, which an SLS camera basically, it shoots hundreds of lights, like beams of light into an area and maps the area, and it detects human-like forms, right? So when something...
Is that the one that creates the stick figures?
Exactly. It creates a stick figure when it detects a human-like form. And fun fact, that's actually the same technology that the Xbox Kinect used.
Oh.
That was Xbox, right? The Kinect?
I think so.
Yeah, the Xbox Kinect used when, so when you were playing your games, it just shot out light and it would detect your movements, and that's how you would play that game. So, basically, Zach asked a spirit to walk through the doorway he was filming with the SLS camera, right? And then a spirit appeared. That stick figure that DJ just mentioned appeared in the doorway. So that was pretty interesting.
Those are creepy.
They are. It was crazy.
Especially, you watch them and, well, first of all, they'll do side by side so you can see that there's nobody standing there.
Mm-hmm.
But also, some people will do, they'll show you what a real living person looks like on there. Mm-hmm. And the movements are very fluid.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you have, a alleged spirit on them, the movements are much jerkier. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense because it's harder for them to capture that energy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to me because I'm okay, it's not somebody who's fully there.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to, get a read on it, so it ends up,
Right, exactly. No,
that actually really hurt my arms for some reason because I was so tense doing it.
I didn't even think about that, though. That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because, what was it? The Ghost Adventures episode we watched where they were in the mining town?
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy was sitting drinking the whiskey. Mm-hmm. And you saw him and his arm movements were like this. Yeah, it's kind of stunted.
Mm-hmm.
But it's stunted, but it's not jerky. And then somebody appeared on top of him and it was like...
Oh my gosh.
For our audio only people, I did the worst robot ever just there.
So they also force Aaron to crawl under the building where Anthony Fox might be buried.
I hate that.
And
poor Aaron. He gets stuck with all the bad jobs.
That does make me realize why he probably never did go in that room in 16 years where Anthony might be buried. Because it's under the freaking building. And it's
I thought it was just a side room. Okay.
Right.
Don't like that.
Yeah, it's a really hard... And Aaron gets stuck for a little bit and...
No. Oh my god.
And he did all that just to not capture evidence. It was a funny little bit for the show, but he didn't capture any paranormal evidence there. And to round it all out, they used an ITC device, which spirits can use to communicate. So basically, they type in a question, and then a spirit can manipulate the device to answer their question. So, they ask, "Who is with us?" And the device says, "Spirits."
Ooh.
And then they ask, "What is your name?" And then the device says, "Anthony."
Oh.
Exactly. So maybe that was Anthony answering their questions if what they were doing is real, allegedly. So, right after this, they had plugged an electric guitar in on stage, played it a little bit to try and attract the spirits because the spirits, that's what they're attracted to, rock and roll. Right. And some of them were also musicians. Actually, the night River Phoenix died, he had brought his guitar with him because he wanted to play on stage, but there just wasn't enough room, so he started partying. Yeah,
it was Halloween night. That's a big night for any club.
There wasn't room for him to play, so he started partying. And so, after they did that, there was a single strum on one of the guitars.
Oh.
And if you know anything about a guitar, strumming a guitar, it takes a lot of force. You can't just tap a guitar to play a note. You have to there has to be some force behind it to actually strum it.
I mean, it's tension, so you gotta...
Yeah, exactly. You gotta do the little thing. So, that was the Ghost Adventures investigation. Thank you. The Ghost Adventures investigation. Now, in 2004, Johnny Depp would, for obvious reasons, relinquish his ownings of the club. I'm not sure who owns it to this day. I guess Macy owns it to this day, probably. But, unfortunately, the club is set to be demolished.
So it's closed.
It's not closed. And I did take a look at their calendar because when I Googled the demolishing, it said the club is set to be demolished by 2024 and be replaced with a residential building. But they're still open and they still have stuff on their calendar for this month. Now, after this month, their calendar is blank except for one of their annual shows, which honestly might have just carried on from their calendar of last year, so that annual show might not happen if they're actually demolishing it. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, if they're demolishing it, if they're trying to save it, what's happening, but there are still some events on their calendar, and maybe it still is being demolished. But maybe some of those hauntings will carry on to the new building, as most hauntings do. Because if we know anything about hauntings, a lot of the time it's the ground.
I think it should be safe for the sheer fact that it is a piece of Hollywood history.
Exactly.
Going back to being the Cotton Club, which was a very famous club back in the day in Hollywood. And then the Viper Room,
legendary.
Yeah, that's what really sent it into legendary status. Because, as soon as you said, River Phoenix died here, I was like, oh my god, that place!
Right, exactly. It's a super... And that's probably why, the demolition plans haven't gone through yet. But if they do demolish it, it will be interesting to see in the future if those hauntings of that area keep up.
And also, if they do demolish it, they might find Anthony's body after all this time.
Right, and honestly, why aren't they digging now? Just go dig out the area and see if Anthony's body... it's on a national television show that there might be a dead body of a missing person there. Why aren't they digging? Or is there someone with a lot more money not allowing them to dig, paying them off so they don't dig for more?
Allegedly.
There's a lot of conspiracy in this episode, okay? A lot of things that might be allegedly happening and might not allegedly be happening. So, to round this one out, DJ... I have a very simple question for you.
Okay.
Smash or pass? River Phoenix.
Smash.
Smash
Hard
for
smash.
Sure.
I just want to look at the picture of him because he was gorgeous.
If you guys could see that picture right now, Anthony... Well, I'll put the picture on screen for you guys, of course, but if you're listening, he looks like an Abercrombie model, an Abercrombie & Fitch model.
In the best way possible.
He looks so cute. Definitely smashing River Phoenix. Rest in peace, you will be missed. He could have been one of Hollywood's biggest stars, honestly. And honestly, him overcoming the trauma he endured while he was in the Children of God cult, just overcoming that and becoming a super famous person is really admirable. And also, just your movie career, awesome. So rest in peace, River Phoenix, and we are smashing for sure. But do you have any final thoughts about the Viper Room, DJ?
Sorry. No, I was just looking at more pictures of River Phoenix.
Oh my god. No. Well, honestly, I really enjoyed researching this episode. It was a lot of fun to see all the celebrities and everything and really just get in touch with that punk rock lifestyle I want to be a part of so bad. But
Paul's trying real hard.
I am. I want to be like Jake Weber, but unfortunately, I'm a little too Aeropostale coated.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm a little too Aeropostale.
You're a Bow White soft top. Just rock with it. Lean with it.
I give daddy's money. I give daddy's money. I give Abercrombie & Fitch, Aeropostale. I give Ralph Lauren. When I want to give grungy underscene, whatever. If I can't even think of the word, how am I going to do it? Oh, well. We'll get them next time. But this was a really interesting episode.
It was. And let us know what you think. Please subscribe, and follow us wherever you are listening. Please connect with us on all of our socials, and you can DM us your thoughts. If you have your own stories about the Viper Room, please email us at our email down below. Paul, where can they find you when you're at home?
You can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paul Ember, Paulember. And as usual, y'all, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
And if you'd like to follow me, please do so on TikTok and on Instagram at The Real Deej Powers. That is Real Deej, D-E-E-J Powers, P-O-W-E-R-S. And please listen to my other podcast, Bitch, That's Camp, on Spotify. Bitch is spelled B!TCH. And I think that's all she wrote.
Come to our live show also.
Yes, come to our live show on April 12th. Tickets are available online if you cannot make it in person, or if you don't live in the Pittsburgh area, you can get a streaming only ticket. If you get an in-person ticket, you can also get a BYOB ticket. And about a week out from the event, we are going to announce what we will be drinking if you'd like to get a bottle and drink with us.
Exactly. You could be drinking with us.
And until next time, keep your grips tight.
And your corks loose. Bye. Hold up. Bo, you drink. Hold up. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Jesus.
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
That's not Wonderwall.
It's close enough.
Jesus.